Have you ever stopped to think about the structure that supports you every day? Your bones. They are the framework of your life, enabling every step, every hug, every moment of independence. But what if this framework were silently becoming more fragile, like with being consumed by termites, without you realizing it? This is the dangerous and silent progression of osteoporosis, a condition that affects millions of Brazilians, especially after the age of 50. The greatest danger is not the disease itself, but its first manifestation, which is often a devastating fracture caused by a minor fall, a simple slip. A hip fracture, for example, can drastically rob you of your mobility and autonomy. That's why we've created this video as a true osteoporosis alert. We want to go beyond the basics and reveal the #1 food that improves your weak bones, and more importantly, how to consume it correctly and safely for maximum benefits. If you care about your future, your quality of life, and want to remain active and strong for decades to come, stay with me. The information I'm about to share is science-based and could be the missing pillar in building solid bone health. And to not miss any health tips like this, that can truly transform your life, take advantage now and subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. It's quick, free, and ensures you're always one step ahead in caring for your well-being. The truth is, many of us believe we're doing enough for our bone health, but we might be neglecting the most powerful component of all. When we think about strengthening bones, two words immediately come to mind: calcium and vitamin D. And for good reason. For decades, we've been told by doctors, nutritionists, and the media that calcium, found in dairy products and leafy greens, is the fundamental building block of our bones, and vitamin D, which we get from the sun and some foods, is the hormone that helps our body absorb that calcium. This duo is undoubtedly essential. Neglecting them would be a grave mistake in maintaining our skeletal structure. Many people, upon receiving a diagnosis of osteopenia or osteoporosis, rush to pharmacies in search of calcium and vitamin D supplements, believing this to be the complete solution to the problem. They fill their cabinets with these pills and feel secure, believing they are shielding their bones against future fractures. However, the science of nutrition and bone health is far more complex and fascinating than that. Imagine you're building a brick wall. You have the best bricks, calcium, and the best bricklayer to put them in place, vitamin D. But what if the cement binding these bricks is weak? What if there's no engineer to ensure the bricks are laid in the right spots and that the old, damaged structure is efficiently removed? The wall might go up, but it won't have the strength and resilience needed to withstand life's storms. This is precisely what happens in our bones. Calcium and vitamin D are just the beginning of the story. There are other micronutrients, other bioactive compounds that act as the cement and the engineers of our skeleton. Without them, the calcium you consume may not be deposited correctly in the bone matrix, or worse, it may end up being deposited in unwanted places, such as in your arteries. This is why, despite consuming supplements, many people still see their bone density decrease. They are missing a key piece of the puzzle, a catalyst element that enhances the action of calcium and vitamin D, and that commands the bone rebuilding process in a way few people know. The question that really matters is, what is this element? What almost forgotten food contains this synergistic combination of nutrients capable of transforming your bone health? The answer may surprise you with its simplicity and because it is likely within your reach at the nearest supermarket. The #1 food that modern science points to as a powerful ally in improving weak bones, the focus of our osteoporosis alert, is not an exotic milk, a rare Amazonian seed, or an expensive supplement. We are talking about prunes. Yes, prunes. I know what you might be thinking. Prunes? Aren't they just for helping the bowels function? That's a common but terribly incomplete view. To reduce the nutritional power of prunes solely to their fiber content is like saying a smartphone is only for making calls. Over the past 2 decades, a growing body of scientific research, conducted by renowned institutions like Florida State University and Penn State University, has revealed the extraordinary role of prunes in bone health. These studies are not just observational, they are controlled clinical trials, the gold standard of medical research, that have specifically investigated the effects of daily prune consumption on the bone mineral density of postmenopausal women, the group at highest risk for osteoporosis. What the researchers discovered was remarkable. Regular consumption of this food not only helped prevent bone loss but, in some cases, even reversed some of the loss that had already occurred. They proved to be more effective than other dried fruits, such as dried apples, which were used as a control group in some of these studies. This leads us to an unavoidable conclusion: there is something unique in the nutritional composition of prunes. They contain a synergistic matrix of vitamins, minerals, and phenolic compounds that work together to protect and rebuild bone tissue. They are the missing piece of the puzzle, the engineer, and the cement we mentioned earlier. Therefore, it's time we look at this humble food with new eyes, not as a simple home remedy for constipation, but as a science-validated nutritional powerhouse for building stronger, more resilient bones. But how exactly do they do this? What is the scientific mechanism behind such a powerful effect? The answer lies in a unique combination of nutrients that act on different fronts to modulate the life cycle of our bones. To understand the power of prunes, we first need to delve into the biology of our bones. Our bones are not dead, static structures. They are in a constant state of remodeling. Think of it like a city that is always renewing itself. There are cells called osteoclasts, which are the demolition crew, responsible for resorbing old and damaged bone. And there are osteoblasts, the construction crew, which deposit new, healthy bone. In youth, building outweighs demolition, and our bone mass increases. With aging, and especially after menopause for women, due to the drop in estrogen, the demolition crew, osteoclasts, starts working faster than the construction crew, osteoblasts. The result is a net loss of bone mass, leading to osteoporosis. This is where the nutritional magic of prunes kicks in. First, let's talk about vitamin K. Prunes are an excellent source of vitamin K1. Most people associate vitamin K solely with blood clotting, but its role in bone health is absolutely critical. Vitamin K is needed to activate a protein called osteocalcin. Think of osteocalcin as the foreman that tells calcium where it needs to go. Without enough vitamin K to activate it, osteocalcin remains inert. Calcium may be present in your blood, but it cannot bind to the bone matrix effectively. It essentially becomes unemployed and can end up in the wrong places. By providing a robust dose of vitamin K, prunes ensure that osteocalcin is active and functional, taking calcium by the hand and cementing it firmly into your bones. In addition to vitamin K, prunes are rich in essential minerals for bones, such as potassium and magnesium. Potassium helps neutralize acids in the body. A highly acidic diet can cause the body to draw calcium from bones to use as a buffering agent, weakening them over time. Potassium helps prevent this calcium theft. Magnesium, in turn, is crucial for converting vitamin D into its active form, which is the form that actually helps with calcium absorption. And then there's boron, a trace element found in prunes that studies have shown to reduce the excretion of calcium and magnesium in the urine, helping to keep these precious minerals within the body where they are most needed. But this combination of vitamins and minerals, while powerful, is only half the story. There's another mechanism, perhaps even more impressive, by which prunes protect our skeleton, combating a silent enemy that accelerates the work of the bone demolition crew. The silent enemy that accelerates bone loss is chronic low-grade inflammation and oxidative stress. With aging, our bodies tend to produce more unstable molecules known as free radicals. These free radicals cause damage to our cells, a process called oxidative stress, which in turn generates inflammation. This chronic inflammation is a constant alarm signal for the body, and one of its most detrimental effects is that it overstimulates osteoclasts, our bone demolition crew. In an inflamed environment, osteoclasts become more numerous and more active, breaking down bone at an alarming rate, much faster than osteoblasts can rebuild it. It's as if the demolition crew works 24/7, while the construction crew only works part-time. This is where the secret weapon of prunes comes in, their very high content of phenolic compounds, such as neochlorogenic and chlorogenic acids. These are powerful antioxidants. They act as an army of peacemakers within your body, neutralizing free radicals and reducing oxidative stress. By doing so, they decrease systemic inflammation. Research suggests that these phenolic compounds have a direct action on the bone microenvironment. They not only calm the inflammation that overstimulates osteoclasts but also appear to protect osteoblasts, the bone-building cells, from oxidative damage, allowing them to live longer and work more efficiently. In essence, prunes do two incredible things. They provide the essential nutrients for the construction crew, vitamin K, boron, potassium, and at the same time, send a signal to the demolition crew to slow down and work in a more controlled manner. This dual action is what makes this food so unique and effective. It's not just supplying the bricks, it's managing the entire construction site to ensure the building is stronger and more durable. If you found this scientific explanation helpful and want more people to understand how they can protect their bones, consider sharing this video with a friend or family member over 50. A simple share can make a big difference in someone's life. But beyond the theory, what does concrete scientific evidence tell us about the practical outcomes of adding this food to our diet? The theory behind the mechanism of action of prunes is fascinating, but as a channel committed to science, we need to look at concrete evidence. What have human clinical studies actually shown? One of the most cited and influential studies in this area was published in the British Journal of Nutrition. Researchers from Florida State University, led by Dr. Bahram Arjmandi, conducted a one-year randomized controlled trial with 100 postmenopausal women. The women were divided into two groups. One group consumed 100 grams of prunes per day, which is about 10 to 12 prunes, and the other group consumed 100 grams of dried apples, which served as a control. Both dried fruits have similar calories and macronutrients but very different micronutrient profiles. At the end of 12 months, the results were impressive. The prune-consuming group showed a significant increase in bone mineral density, BMD, in the ulna, one of the forearm bones, and the lumbar spine, compared to the dried apple group, which actually experienced a slight decrease in BMD. Furthermore, blood tests from the prune group showed lower levels of bone resorption markers, meaning the demolition crew was indeed working more slowly. Another study, this time from Penn State University, investigated different dosages and found that even a lower dose of 50 grams per day, about 5 to 6 prunes, was effective in preventing hip bone mass loss in postmenopausal women. This is particularly important because hip fractures are the most dangerous and disabling associated with osteoporosis. It is crucial, however, to be honest about the strength and limitations of this evidence. These studies are extremely promising and provide a strong argument for including prunes in a bone health-focused diet. However, prunes are not a miracle cure for osteoporosis. They are a powerful tool within a comprehensive strategy that should include a balanced diet, weight-bearing exercise, and, of course, medical follow-up. Science shows us that this food has a real and measurable effect. The question now is, how can we incorporate this tool into our daily lives safely, practically, and deliciously? Knowing that prunes are beneficial is the first step, but practical implementation is what will truly make a difference in your bone health. Therefore, the second part of our topic today, how to consume it, is as crucial as the first. The first question that arises is, how many should I eat? Based on the studies, an effective dose seems to be between 50 to 100 grams per day, which translates to approximately 5 to 10 prunes, depending on their size. The safest and most sensible recommendation is to start slowly. Prunes are rich in fiber and sorbitol, a sugar alcohol with a laxative effect. If you're not used to it, jumping straight to 10 prunes a day can cause gastrointestinal discomfort, such as gas and bloating. Therefore, start with 3 or 4 prunes a day for the first week. Observe how your body reacts. If everything is fine, you can gradually increase to 6, and then to 8 to 10 per day, which seems to be the sweet spot for reaping bone benefits without overwhelming your digestive system. Drink plenty of water throughout the day to help the fiber do its job properly. Now, how to incorporate them into your routine so it doesn't become a boring obligation. The versatility of prunes is your greatest ally. You can simply eat them as a quick and easy snack between meals. They are naturally sweet and satisfying, but you can be more creative. Chop 2 or 3 prunes and mix them into your plain yogurt or kefir in the morning. This adds sweetness, fiber, and bone-boosting nutrients to your breakfast. Another excellent option is to add them to salads. The sweet flavor and soft texture of chopped prunes contrast wonderfully with bitter leafy greens, crunchy nuts, and a cheese like goat or feta. For hot dishes, they work surprisingly well in recipes with chicken or pork, a classic combination in many cuisines around the world. You can also make prune puree, simply by blending prunes with a little water, and use it as a sugar or fat substitute in cake and muffin recipes, making them healthier. The key is consistency. It's no use eating 20 prunes one day and then going a month without. The goal is to make consuming 5 to 10 prunes a daily habit, just like you take your other supplements or medications. By integrating them intelligently and gradually, you transform a simple food into a powerful daily ritual for your bone health. Despite the extraordinary benefits we've discussed, a responsible health guide should always address precautions and potential risks. As with everything in life, moderation is key, and prunes are no exception. It's crucial to understand that, while they are a natural food, they may not be suitable for everyone, or at least, the quantity needs to be adjusted depending on each individual's health condition. The first important consideration is for people with diabetes or prediabetes. Prunes are a fruit and, as such, contain natural sugars. 100 grams of prunes can contain about 38 grams of sugar. Although they have a relatively low glycemic index due to their high fiber content, meaning they don't cause a rapid blood sugar spike, the total amount of carbohydrates still needs to be accounted for in a diabetic's meal plan. If you have diabetes, it is crucial to talk to your doctor or nutritionist before adding a significant amount of prunes to your diet. They can guide you on how to fit them into your meal plan without unbalancing your glucose levels. The second consideration is for people with sensitive digestive conditions, such as irritable bowel syndrome (IBS). As we've already mentioned, prunes are rich in fiber and sorbitol. For most people, this is great for gut health. However, for those with IBS, these components can be a trigger for uncomfortable symptoms like bloating, gas, and diarrhea. In these cases, the start slowly recommendation is even more critical. Perhaps 1 or 2 prunes a day is the maximum tolerable amount, and even that small quantity might offer some benefits. It's a matter of finding your own tolerance limit. Another point to note is the presence of acrylamide, a compound that can form in some foods during high-temperature drying processes. While the levels in prunes are generally considered low and safe, opting for brands from good sources and that perhaps use slower, lower-temperature drying methods can be an additional precaution. The goal here is not to scare you, but to empower you with complete knowledge. Understanding these potential risks allows you to make an informed choice and adopt this habit safely and personally tailored to your reality. This reinforces the idea that the journey to better health is not a one-size-fits-all recipe, but rather a path that must be walked with wisdom, knowledge, and, above all, in constant dialogue with the healthcare professionals who care for you. We've reached the end of our journey today, and I hope you're leaving here not just with information, but with a new perspective on your bone health. To recap, we issued an osteoporosis alert, not to instill fear, but to raise awareness about the importance of protecting the structure that supports us. We saw that traditional solutions like calcium and vitamin D, while essential, are only part of a much larger puzzle. And then, we revealed the key piece that science has been highlighting, the #one food that improves your weak bones, the humble yet powerful prune. We unveiled the scientific mechanism behind its effectiveness, the unique synergy between vitamin K, boron, potassium, and, crucially, its potent polyphenol antioxidants, which together manage the construction site of our bones, strengthening the construction crew and controlling the demolition crew. We analyzed the solid scientific evidence proving its effect on bone mineral density and learned how to consume it practically and safely, starting with 5 and reaching 10 units per day, creatively integrated into our diet. Remember, building strong bones is not a 100-meter sprint, but a lifelong marathon. Prunes are a formidable ally in this marathon, but they must be part of a winning team, which includes a diet rich in vegetables, quality protein, impact exercises and strength training to stimulate bone formation, and safe sun exposure for vitamin D production. And, most importantly of all, this video is a powerful educational tool, but it does not replace your doctor.